Hello, this is Winnie Dao, and it's been a while since I uploaded a video to this channel. I think the last videos I uploaded were about my diagnosed of alopecia, how I was getting used to wigs, to head coverings, and things like that. But this video that I want to upload today, I think I'm gonna divide in two because there are two things that I want to share, hopefully to help someone that may be going through the same thing, or um, as a personal record about what I went through. So the first topic that I want to talk about is sleep apnea. I was diagnosed with it in March. I don't remember the date exactly, but it was March this year, 2021. And then on the 25th of March, I received my CPAP machine or APAP machine. So, but how did I get to that diagnose? That's what's important because I would like to help people figure if they need to see their doctor, um, because they could probably have these. So I was feeling very dizzy, sleepy, fatigued. I was feeling horrible during the day. I wasn't sleeping that well. I was having insomnia. Um, I was waking up in the middle of the night to urinate very constantly. I would say 5 times during the night, um, probably 3 to 5 times. So my sleep patterns were all over the place. I first thought it could be because I was playing with my cell phone, but then I stopped and none of that stopped. And then I thought maybe I had got COVID and that's why I'm not oxygenating well because I would sit on the sofa to watch TV and next thing I remember is me waking up and the movie ending. And I didn't even know how I fell asleep. So that's how bad it was. I didn't have any energy for anything, but because I am doing exercise and I'm changing my dietary habits and all of that because of hypertension and tachycardia, I thought, well, maybe this is part of getting used to all these new things and this new activity and all of that. When I discussed it with my doctor, oh, another thing is that I was snoring at nighttime. Not every night, and not everyone who has sleep apnea snores. In my case, I would not. I didn't snore every night, but the nights I did, it was super loud, so loud that it would interrupt my husband's sleep, and sometimes he had to like move me to the side so I would roll on my side or something and stop snoring. And even on my side, sometimes I did snore. It was less loud, but it was still bothersome, so loud that I would wake myself up because I was snoring. That's how loud it was. Um, and sometimes I didn't snore, and then he would get very worried because my chest wasn't moving, and when it moved, it wasn't normal. It was like it was having a bit of trouble moving up and down, and that made him think that something was off. So I told my doctor all of these, and he decided to do a sleep study on me. So the first well, I only had one sleep study. Because of COVID, I picked up this watch light machine that has some contraption that you put here and it measures your oxygen, so an oximeter. And then it has something that you put here that would measure your heart rate and all of that. You use it for a whole night, then you put it back in a little case that it comes in. You bring it to the clinic, and the sleep specialist will then read how that night went. And as far as I know, it even measures if you're snoring and how loud you are snoring. So I did this, and like a week and a half after that, my results were ready, and my results said that I had 18.2 apneas per hour. Some were central and some were obstructive, which means my trachea was collapsing in itself, and it was not allowing the air to pass. But also, some of those apneas was my brain forgetting how to breathe. So, after um, that diagnosis, I received a prescription for a CPAP, in my case, an APAP, which is a machine that blows air or different types of air, pressures of air to your nose while you're sleeping. The one I have adjusts automatically to the pressure I need, but is set on 5 to 10, a pressure of 5 to 10, and it usually goes to 8, up to 8. That's the medium right now. I am using the ResMed S10. That's the machine I'm using, and I'm using the N30i mask. I was using the N30 in the beginning, but I have problems with that because it's kind of heavy here and the headgear is kind of flimsy. So whenever I move to my side, it would just leak. With the N35 though, because the air tube comes out of this area and the headgear is not that flimsy, it stays in place better. As long as you keep everything clean, because otherwise it gets oily with the skin oils and all of that, and it moves around then. So I'm using the N30. I like it very much. It wasn't hard to get used to it. I know that some people have problems getting used to these masks, but in my case, I think in this probably the second day that I had it here, uh, I was already feeling good with it. Um, it wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. I think by the probably the third or the fourth day, I was already okay with using it. And now, in like I think 2 or 3 nights ago, the power went off, and I had to sleep most of the night without it. And then I woke up feeling miserable. I couldn't stay awake. I was feeling so tired the whole day. So after that, I can tell that I noticed the difference between using it and not using it, and I'm all for using it every single night. Once I put that mask on, I fall asleep really quick. While before having the machine, it would take me a long time. I would play with my phone because I would get bored trying to sleep. Now it's much, much better. So if you are probably getting a machine, if you have a prescription for one, I know that some people say it's very difficult to use and it's very hard to get used to it, but it's worth it to do it. Um, in my case, I used to have dreams that I was walking in a very small tunnel or I was underwater, so that made me claustrophobic. I had a CT scan done and it was horrible because I was feeling like I couldn't breathe. That's how sleep apnea gets to you. It's very, very bad. But what I did to fight that back was that first of all, I went for a nasal mask. That way my mouth was free and I felt like if I couldn't breathe through my nose, I always had my mouth. So that helps. I thought that because I would open my mouth while I was sleeping that I would need a full mask, but my therapist told me you don't really need it because once you start breathing well, you will close your mouth. And that's true. When I'm sleeping, I close my mouth. Sometimes, if I'm very tired, I relax my jaw and it opens a little bit. Not like before. Before it was like wide open. Now it would relax just a little bit. And some of the air that is coming through the nose would escape by the mouth. But I still can breathe because some air is still going through, my airways. So it's not that bad. And once I noticed I close my mouth again, and that's it. I do have a chin strap, but after a surgery I had, I was having some pain in this area, and I thought it could be related to the chin strap. Now I know that it's not, so I may try to use it again. Um, but if you have a chin strap, I know that some people like them, some people hate them, and some people rather try to control that themselves instead of using something else, because it can make you feel a bit claustrophobic. So probably try not to use those two things for the first time, at once. Try to get used to the mask first and then to the shin strap. But I wouldn't recommend trying to getting used to both things at once. That would be too much, I think. So this has been my experience with CPAP. Today is May. I don't know what date, but it's May, and I started on March, and I in March, and I already feel like I cannot go to sleep without it. So give it a try. I know that some people who have Medicaid or Medicare need to be, um, I forgot the word, but they need to use it in order to have their health insurance pay for it, because if they don't, the health insurance or the provider can actually take back the machine. It's not worth it. Once you get that prescription, try very hard to get used to the machine. You only have to use it 4 hours a day to, to have the insurance pay for it. So try to do that. Watch TV or do something that you enjoy with the mask on, with the machine on, while you're getting used to it. But try to do it, because if they take it from you, the the complications that can bring are very serious. Um, a stroke, uh, heart enlargement, brain problems. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So try to get used to it. Like I said, read a book, watch TV, play with your phone while you're having the mask on. That way you will get used to it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.